Tough luck for Ferrari. The first spot was never really a reality for any team not named Red Bull in the 2023 season. Unfortunately for them, they missed out on the next best thing, that being P2, and had it not been for Charles Leclerc being soft as a pillow, they would have been crowned the best of the rest. Is this why Fred Vasseur has been lashing out against Toto Wolff? See for yourself in today's video. Stay tuned. According to Alpine data engineer Ramon Drost, Charles Leclerc was a bit too soft in his lap 1 battle with Max Verstappen in Abu Dhabi. Despite starting second on the grid behind the reigning world champion, Leclerc aimed to give Verstappen a run for his money at turn 1 and later at turn 6. Despite having his nose ahead at one point, Verstappen managed to come out on top on both occasions. Leclerc's bid for the top spot dwindled as he fell back to second place by the end of the first lap. Verstappen quickly established a lead of more than a second, ultimately securing his 19th victory of the season. He crossed the finish line a solid 17 seconds ahead of Leclerc. This season ended with Leclerc unable to secure a win, marking his third winless campaign in 5 seasons with Ferrari. Drost, a data engineer associated with Alpine and others, suggests that the 26-year-old made it relatively easy for Verstappen at the Yas Marina circuit. He shared these insights with motorsport.com, saying, "I actually think Leclerc hit the brakes too early, especially in turn 1, and he made the same kind of mistake later on the track. It's more like, just show that you're here, because if you don't do that, Max will go for it. He can hold his own. That is, of course, what you have to show to get the first position there. I had the feeling that Leclerc reacted a little too softly there, which caused him to miss the lead." Leclerc shed light on his post-race decisions, explaining that although he aimed to overtake Verstappen and seize the lead, it might have inadvertently impacted his Grand Prix. He noted that Ferrari's strategy was focused on outscoring Mercedes in the battle for P2 in the standings, and his attempt to lead might have posed challenges to that overall team goal. He said, "Because Checo had a 5-second penalty, we had to help him in a way for him to finish in front of George. I tried to give him the DRS and a slipstream, but that unfortunately wasn't enough. On the one hand, I'm really happy because on a weekend like this, there was not one thing we could have done better. As a team, it was definitely not a given that we were in the second fastest car this weekend, but we did an incredible job doing everything right, the strategy, qualifying. It's just a shame that we finished third in the Constructors. That's all that mattered to me in this end of season, but we didn't achieve that. Anyway, I would like to thank the team for doing such incredible work and for working so incredibly hard since the first race. We knew it was going to be an uphill season because we lacked performance compared to where we wanted, but the team has done an incredible job pushing until the last race. I obviously wanted to try and get that first place, but we also know that in the race we lack some pace compared to them. So even if I would have passed Max there, I probably would have gotten overtaken again 3 or 4 laps later, and, in the end, my only target was to beat the Mercedes. So I didn't want to lose too much tyre juice and also time with Max. But yeah, it was fun." Ferrari boss Fred Vasseur slyly took a swipe at Mercedes following his team's narrow miss in securing second place in the Constructors' standings in Abu Dhabi. The battle for P2 in the Constructors' standings reached its peak on the final lap of the season finale, with Mercedes successfully fending off their challengers amidst some late-race drama. Charles Leclerc went to the extent of trying to relinquish his track position to Red Bull's Sergio Perez, aiming to push George Russell down from the podium to P4. But, due to a 5-second time penalty, the Mexican driver was demoted after the race, and Russell retained his P3 finish. This ensured that Mercedes held on to their title position by a slim margin of just 3 points, with the tally at 409 to 406. Speaking after the race, Vasseur commended Leclerc's strategic thinking in the final stages. He also couldn't help but throw a few unsavoury words at Mercedes when discussing the outcome. He said, "It was a great race from Charles. He did what he could. He even let Perez pass to make the gap of 5 seconds on Russell. Well, for once, Mercedes won't be complaining about the steward's decision. I don't even know what happened with Perez. I didn't watch. We shouldn't be disappointed on our side. Charles did the job. It's one of the first times we've had a fight with Red Bull, so we'll have to keep it up for next year." Leclerc would have liked to have slowed Russell down even more, but he had to aim right. I'm happy for him. He's moved up in the rankings. It's important for 2024. The momentum has been good over the last 2 to 3 races. We're not losing anything today. It's more in the middle of the season that we've missed opportunities. I'd rather be third and finish on a positive note than finish second and be nowhere. That's for Mercedes. Securing P2 was a hard-fought battle for Mercedes, narrowly edging out their red rivals by a mere 1.1 seconds as they crossed the finish line in Abu Dhabi. Ferrari took the lead on the track thanks to Charles Leclerc, but with George Russell securing third place and Lewis Hamilton finishing 8th, Mercedes did what was necessary to surpass their third place finish in the constructors' standings from the previous season. One thing worth noting is that despite Leclerc trying to give Perez a little push during the race, he refrained from intentionally driving slowly to impede Russell. In the aftermath of the 22nd race of the season, Toto Wolff didn't go the Fred Vasseur route of insulting his opponent. Instead, he plans on killing them with kindness, showering Leclerc with praises for his honourable approach. He said, "I think at the end it was a great end. Fight for P2. I think George's driving was exceptional. I also think Charles at the end was sportsmanlike behaviour, not trying to slow down Russell. Two great teams, two great brands that fought to the end." Although Mercedes can find solace in surpassing Ferrari, their season was marked by a lack of victories and a considerable gap between the pace of the Red Bulls. Despite a mid-season redesign of the car around the existing tub, yielding some improvements in terms of pace, the upcoming year presents an opportunity for Mercedes to make significant progress, provided they can refine and execute their concept effectively. "At the end, we are racers and this day feels like you've won, and that's great," he continued. "We have to be happy about that. But also as a racer you just want more, but today we won. It was a fight for P2. In a way, super positive for the team and so many employees to be vice champion, but it also reminds you it is P2. Let's be honest, Red Bull have a gap because they got well off the block with the new regulations, and in order to catch up, that's a monumental endeavour. But at a certain stage, hopefully they'll level off with their development speed and we can catch up. It's not only adding a tenth of downforce or so, our car is a fundamental problem. It's unstable, the drivers have no confidence in the car, and if we can iron that out, I hope we can make a step forward as other teams have done. Wolff can find some satisfaction in a season that brought multiple podiums, with Lewis Hamilton securing the best of the rest position behind the two Red Bull drivers in the championship. Additionally, their customer team, McLaren, demonstrated the potential of in-season development, showcasing moments of speed that arguably outpaced the Bulls, particularly in certain instances later in the year, especially over a single lap. "We have so much good things in the pipeline, so much new things, and with all the learning we've had, I'm really in a good place to see what's coming together," Wolff added. "We've got to take the momentum here from third place, P2 in the championship, and take that momentum into the factories." Is Fred Vasseur being a sore loser by firing shots at Mercedes after the season has ended? We want to hear from you in the comments section down below. And, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thanks for watching.